Alright, I've been toying with the idea of buying a tile cutting saw for several years now. Just hoping I could use it to saw bottles in half. But I'm not really sure if it's going to work or not. Mostly to cut the crown tops off and repair them. But I think this blade is pretty well used up. Probably going to have to spend $20 to get a new one. But hopefully I'll get a few cuts out of this one to make sure I can do this. I know I'm going to have to go really slow. Probably going to take several minutes just to cut 1.5 inches. Well, I just turned it on after putting the water in it, and it sprayed water up all over the place. So the guy didn't really explain that that was going to happen. I'm not going to be able to use it in here anymore. I'll have to take it outside. Okay, I'm going to try it again. This time I put a towel around it. Hopefully it'll soak up all the water that shoots out. Yeah, it's definitely an outdoor activity. But I did have some success. I tried it for about 15 seconds. So I guess the blade's still good for a while. It's not very accurate on the lineup though. I meant to cut it right on the top of that edge right there. So I'm going to have to take it outside and try it again. Okay, I got a whole case of sodas here. I'm getting ready to saw off. Well, I just found out every single time I cut one I have to add another 4 or 5 ounces of water down here because it sprays out so much. It gets down to the danger level. It has a measuring line down there that tells you how much you need to have in there, and every time I cut one of these bottles in half I gotta add some more or else it's gonna burn up the blade. Okay, here's the first one. That's an interesting glass, isn't it? And then a knee-high glass. I know I'll have at least 5 of these. And there's a Lilly Bottling Works, which made Pepsi Cola in the tiny mining town of Pemberton, West Virginia, which happens to be a $2,500 Pepsi. This is just a go-with bottle, and it's only worth maybe $75 if it was perfect. And a straight-sided Coke from the town of Hillsborough, North Carolina. That's pretty rare. Probably would have been worth about $300 if it wasn't broken. Alright, I got at least 30 of them cut. Here's the only one that'll make a really good glass. It was a 32-ounce beer, circa 1905. It's going to hold at least 18 ounces now. I can barely get my hand around it, it's so big. San Diego Brewing Company. I just got to tumble that for a couple days and get it nice and sparkly. And I cut a couple milk bottles. Haven't repaired a milk bottle yet, but some of them are pretty valuable, so I'm assuming this one's probably about $70. And the companion bottle to that sideways script Pepsi bottle that's worth thousands of dollars. And a Mobile, Alabama straight-sided Coke. I don't have a perfect one in my collection, so maybe I'll get that one looking better. Maybe I'll get a top put on that and tumble it out a few days. And Amber Coke from Richmond, Virginia. Don't have a perfect one of these either. And here's a one-of-a-kind dairy juice bottle from the tiny town of Cordova, North Carolina. Definitely worth repairing that since it's a one of. And there's a nice size drinking glass. That'll hold about 12 ounces anyway. And one of these just sold for over $400 on eBay with several bruises on it, so that's definitely worth repairing. And that's going to go in my collection. The Newburn Drape Pepsi. And a Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's a nice drinking glass. Okay, day 2, I got a whole nother case of sodas to cut up. there they are, all ready to go. Now for the hard part. Cutting the tops exactly to fit and to find the exact shade of aqua for a lot of these bottles. And to make some kind of a jig to cut these. I mean, cutting a crown top with a neck attached to it, it's going to require some special, I don't know what, but it's going to be a challenge, I'll tell you that. Alright, I've been saving broken bottles for so long. I've got a couple hundred of them. This is my 5th case of them. So this is what I'm cutting this morning. Okay, day 3, got a whole nother case of stuff to cut. And then the famous Shinston Pepsi with the watermelon slug plate from the little West Virginia town. These were in the book for $800, but I found a number of them, but of course they were all damaged. But it's definitely worth repairing anyway. And a Gaola in amber. A nice dark amber. Well, I got it all set up. I don't think this cat's going to want to stay right there though. Cats don't really like getting wet. Alright, we'll start off with this great Pepsi bottle, but unfortunately when I was digging this dump I didn't think to save the tops, I just saved the bodies of the bottle. So now I'm regretting that decision because these came in 5 different colors and they're kind of a fatter, shorter bottle than most, so finding matches for these is going to be difficult. Well, there's another bracer in the smaller size, and there's a super rare Wilson, North Carolina soda that I don't have a perfect one of yet. And there's a bunch of them I just cut off. A few of them were too long to actually cut. Here's one of the drinking glasses I made. Of course, the edge is definitely not safe to drink out of. You want to have a thinner lip on it than that. And it's pretty rough. So what do I do about that? Take a Dremel tool. Get some diamond bits from Harbor Freight for about $5. Preferably get it wet. And here's another glass after I've done that to it. See, it's kind of thinner on the edge now, but of course it leaves behind a whiteness because of the roughness, so you gotta put a thin layer of oil on it. Or what I did on this one is I actually took a dowel rod and glued some 400 grit wet sanding paper to it, and I got it all wet and sanded it. Took a while, but if you got nothing better to do, then you can make a better quality product than most people.